Welcome back to the video. Today's video, we're going to be playing skylines. In today's video, we're going to be we're going to be adding some more stuff to our parks, just to level them up. Cause in the last episode, how I made a little like park off camera. That's just a zoo, and I have got it up to level 2, and so off camera or between the next couple of episodes, I hope to get this park leveled up to 3 at least, since we can at least max out one park or two, or ideally both of them, but at least get the amusement park maxed out. But so I end up doing that for the beginning of this episode, in that I place some new stuff in that park and just around the other parks. And then I get to work on the main thing for this episode, which is a plastic plant. Or well, no, not a plastic plant, but a steel factory. So steel can be obviously used for many different things, but after just looking up some pictures of a steel plant, I concluded this is about how they look, and so I've just taken about a miniature one, just so this way I can make it fit a bit better into our city. And so I just did the classic technique with the quarry wall, just to hide that unsightly side, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably, instead of doing that, have just done a rock wall along there. And then I just placed down some roads, or attempted to, and then I just slowly picked up the water until it was all gone. And so then I just got rid of the pipes, perhaps the pipes a bit more, and then I did the trick with the monorail line, or well, not the monorail line, but the monorail track. And it just allows for me to bring the monorail track all the way up to the surface, which it just makes sense to do that. And so then I'm just gonna do one, just because there's only 2 storage buildings that it's bringing stuff out of. Because typically how they are is that you have the manufacturing area, and then you have a storage facility for a couple different ores that are made to make steel. And so that's just what I have found from the pictures online. And then so I just placed down one of our ore storage facilities, and so I'm going to do 2 different ones that we've unlocked that look the exact same but carry a different ore, so that this way we can make it look a bit more realistic. And so then I come across here to build in the other one, and then it's kind of just finding where its sweet spot is for being able to make it fit and also be close enough to that monorail track. But so I'm just doing that over and over again until I can get that perfect fit in there, and that's as best I'm gonna get. But I don't really care if it looks too horrible, if it doesn't look too good up close, actually. But it's mostly just if it looks good from afar, and that's looks good from afar, because that's where you'll be mostly seeing the city. And then I just try to work out this road to where I can get it lined up with the other one, but it doesn't exactly want to work with me, so I do just end up needing to have a bit of a weird curve in there. And then I do just attempt to get this ever so slightly closer, which I do succeed in doing that. And then I just had some industries placed down there, just in this way I could have like some storage, or just like some extra plants. Because what you'll notice at a whole lot of iron plants is that there's one big plant, and then there's couple smaller plants just like dotted around. And so I'm just trying to achieve that with this. And then I break over our ore area, So this way I can just place down these different buildings, and then we can obviously have ore being produced, or well, the ore being put into these to then be produced into the stuff that iron takes, I believe. Or does iron? Yeah, iron takes the glass and metal, I believe, or just metal. Whichever one, it doesn't really matter, but it's fine. But so I just placed this down so this way it would be more realistic, because they would need a place to obviously transform the metal, and then I just placed down some warehouses just so this way we could fit in different stuff that I wanted to store in. So I believe one of them has unique factory products in it, and then the other one has glass, just because it only takes in steel into the steel factory, or metal into the steel factory. I believe that's metal in there, and that's why I did just have the monorail tracks just continue. And I just placed in a small warehouse for just looks, I guess, because obviously we would need that. And this will probably be one of our last episodes on the industrial area, just because we don't have a whole lot more that I can do, or at least I'm lost for ideas. If you do have any suggestions, make sure to comment them down below. But that was pretty much it for that whole entire thing until a bit later. But so I come down here and I fill upper area that we just looked at with offices, and lower area with some residential. And then I just obviously get rid of traffic lights, and I bring down our pedestrian zone down over there so this way they won't complain. And then I just fix up the park there. And then well, I make a new district here. And then I made this with the heart of Korea, district style. So this will be like our Koreatown area. And then I went over to the heart of Korea buildings, found them, and then I placed them down. Which, now that I think about it, we should also probably put down some of these different skyscrapers throughout the city. Just in this way, we can obviously make it feel like that it has some super tall buildings in it. Especially in the taller building area. But that's for another day. I basically was just placing down all the buildings, or at least trying to, which I do end up succeeding in that. And I just have that building, and then I don't know the names of any of these buildings, but I'm assuming that there's some from somewhere in Korea. And well, now they're here in our city. And then just build a road around that just because it felt right, and then I just put this big tall building in. And so that pretty much was all that there was for our Korean area after I placed that in, because there ain't a whole lot more buildings, and those buildings should hopefully change to the district style, because I believe there is a district style that has its own individual buildings for residential. If not, then they'll be fine. And then I just placed down a district over here because we apparently never placed one in. And then I did just check our child and elderly care, and apparently I've never placed any of this in. So that I probably should place this down. Although I could have sworn that we did place them down. And then I come back over here because I realized that Orange Tree was like right about on level 3. So I just started spamming down some buildings just so I can get some workers. And then there you go, leveled up. But so since way it looked a bit, because I mean, in my opinion, these buildings look a whole lot more realistic and they're a whole lot more functional compared to that, because we need metal instead of glass and metal. And so I just placed them in, and then I did make it to where they're facing different directions. Which over here I did end up just placing it on that little road. So this way they were facing different directions, so they didn't feel exactly like a copy, and it did work exactly as I wanted it to. And then just got one of the buildings that I wanted, so I then just placed in the build there some more tiles next to it, and then well, that was pretty much it for the build. I just checked out the traffic. It's not necessarily stop and go traffic, but yeah, it's just long traffic, and then I just update our area. But so if you have enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope to see you next one. Bye!